Eagle Nation, what do we always say? Even if you're a little bit confused, even if you get a little concerned, don't worry, because Howie Houdini will strike again. Howie Roseman does it again. The Eagles make a big splash free agent signing. We'll talk about the details, also what could come next, and what this means moving forward. We'll get into it all, but welcome into A to Z Philly. I'm RB. Do me a favor, like this video, go down below, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, if I was an NFL GM, I would block this guy's number. I would not even answer his calls. If I see his name coming up, boop, decline, not happening. You know why? Because Howie strikes again. He works his magic, but with the free agent market, they can't control it. Howie's going to do his thing. And I said this on our last video on Saturday morning, even though we're a little bit frustrated, we're confused. What's going on? What is Howie doing? He's trying to patch up these holes. Don't worry. I think he has a plan. And here we see another step in that plan. Just as of a few minutes ago, breaking news, the Philadelphia Eagles have come to terms with outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari on a 1-year deal, aka one of the best edge rushers on the market, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles have signed Azeez Ojulari to a 1-year, $4 million contract. Brendan Deeks has loved this signing. He's only 24 years old, a lot of upside, former second-round pick with 22 sacks in 46 games. And hey, I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Guess where he went to school? I'll give you one guess. Where'd he go to school? Georgia. He's a Bulldawg, man. Howie Roseman can't get enough of the Philly Dogs. Another Georgia Bulldog in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Azeez Ojulari, as ESP says here, great move. Best edge available among the free agents, only 24 years old. Checks the upside box. He has 22 sacks, 37 quarterback hits in 46 games, and he was 85th in total pressures last year with 22, but only had 202 pass rush snaps. Most in his snap range had around 10 to 15. So what has been the issue with Azeez Ojulari? As it says, it's his health. It's not his ability. Former second-round pick, this guy has racked up the numbers, but he can't really stay on the field. And honestly, if you asked me to choose between a guy who is really talented but has had health concerns versus the guy who just doesn't have the talent, he doesn't have the ability, I'm picking number one every single time. Sure, you take a bank on this. First off, I can't believe that this guy was still in the market. The last couple of days I've been kind of surveying and monitoring, and I see this guy's name keep coming up. Azeez Ojulari. I'm hearing all these different spots for him. And then I started to see people say, yeah, Howie's going to get that done. Howie's going to get Ojulari. Please, Howie. And he gets him. Not only does he sign him, he signs him this late into free agency, 1-year, $4 million contract. I mean, you talk about low risk, high reward. Holy smokes. And with Vic Fangio in this system, I mean, we saw a guy like Zach Bond come in last year. He was supposed to be an edge. We saw what they did with Bond. Who knows what they can do with Ojulari? Vic Fangio just got another toy to play around with. And a guy who is very talented, has a lot of upside, just needs to stay on the field. Maybe he doesn't have to play on that crap anymore at MetLife. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing signing. This is a home run signing. We've talked about some of the other guys they've picked up. I haven't been overwhelmed, right, with Josh Uche. Maybe he can have another breakout year. And we talk about these other guys who have kind of been backups elsewhere. This guy is super talented. And I honestly think that Howie probably had this already in store or was negotiating or knew that he could come to an agreement. The Eagles don't have a ton of cap space. They've been using a little bit here and there to sign these other guys. But $4 million, I mean, that is bang for your buck. That is an absolute steal. And he probably did it because of the health, right? And I mean, Ojulari probably wants to bet on himself, come to a team that he knows is most likely going to be pretty good, and then get a big contract next year. So just an A-plus signing. Eagles edge group now comes together. Smith, Hunt, Ojulari, Uche, Huff, and likely a rookie. So yeah, I mean, Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith. Then you think about the other young guys on this line, Jalen Carter, Moro Ajomo, Jordan Davis. Now you start to feel a lot better, like, hey, maybe it's not too bad. And oh, by the way, the next 2 years, they have 20 draft picks. Oh, by the way, every other position is almost really filled. What do they need? A starting safety? So Howie just continues to find ways to bring in these playmakers, and I'm excited. I'm really excited about this. Thomas Peterson says Azeez Ojulari and Adoree Jackson will be all pro players this year, and Giant fans will suffer once again watching Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson drive their team into the ground. That is probably 100% accurate. I think that's who the Giants are going to sign. They're going to go with a vet, and Adoree Jackson and Azeez Ojulari will come to an actual competent organization with a good coach and start to play well. That's what's going to happen. It reminds me a lot of James Bradbury a couple years ago, right? They called him a bust. I think they cut him, and the Eagles picked him up late. And what did James Bradbury do? He came here. He turned into an all-pro player. Different coaching staff, different situation. But the Giants players, right, Saquon, they just seem to thrive in midnight green. Now, Joshua Uche also talked today about this group. He says that he's excited to join the other defensive linemen on the Philadelphia Eagles. He says watching the Super Bowl, they rushed with reckless abandon. He had other offers in free agency, but he thought the Eagles were the best fit for him. And coming off a Super Bowl, he wanted to join the Eagles. That's pretty crazy considering he was on the Kansas City Chiefs. But that statement also made me think about Azeez Ojulari, right? Because he says that the Eagles were the best fit. And I think about Ojulari, and again, here's an article that they put out on ESPN. You know, Ojulari played in just 7 games in 2022 because of calf, ankle, and quad injuries. He dealt with ankle and hamstring injuries in 2023, and he missed the final 6 games this past year with a toe injury. But Giants were abysmal anyway. But it says the Giants primarily made Ojulari a situational pass rusher in 2024 after trading for Brian Burns last spring. He was behind Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, and it says he had success when Thibodeau was hurt, 5 sacks in a 3-game stretch before suffering yet another injury. So again, the health scare is definitely there, but when I think about fit and think about this situation and that situation, the Eagles defense isn't just one guy. It's not like only me or only him. It's a collective effort. It's a team identity. And I think about the fit. And if the Giants were able to put this guy in a situation to succeed, think about what Vic Fangio is going to be able to do with this guy. I'm really excited about this signing. The twitchy rusher is known for his impressive bend around the edge, 14 sacks in 29 games over the past 3 seasons. And again, a former Georgia Bulldawg. We look at his numbers: 8 sacks rookie year, 5.5 in 7 games the next year, 2.5 in 11 games, and 6 in 11 games on a crappy team. So once again, home run signing by Howie Roseman. Why do we doubt him? We never should. We never should. Lastly, Mekhi Becton signs off as a Philadelphia Eagle. He says that he will have a piece of Philly with him for the rest of his life. Mekhi Becton and C.J. Gardner-Johnson are really the 2 signings that I don't like, or signing and trade. And, you know, I'm really thankful to have seen Mekhi Becton resurrect his career here in Philly. Not only was he so dominant, not only was he amazing, but he just changed his life. Like, shout out to him, man. He says, Coach Jeff Stoutland, thank you from day one. You believed me even before I believed in myself. You saw something in me, challenged me, pushed me to reach a level I never knew I had. You made me a better player, but more importantly, a better man. What I'll take away most is your mindset, your attention to detail, and the way you prepared every single day. You set the standard, and that will stick with me as I continue my career. So obviously Howie's banking again on getting younger, right? The Tyler Steens of the world, or, you know, he's getting younger on the defensive line, right? Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith. But I think when players talk about the Eagles organization and the coaching staff and the example that has been set, and you hear other free agents out there looking for a new home, trying to, you know, save their careers and take care of their families, and they hear stuff like this, they're like, yeah, I'll take a little bit less. I'll go to Philly in a way better situation on a team that looks like it can still compete and try to bring myself back to life and maybe earn a big payday. Again, do you think Zach Bond or Mekhi Becton looked at their careers last year and said, yeah, I'm going to be really high paid players? No, they were like, hey, I have one more shot left in the chamber. We'll see what happens. And look at them now. So I really do think that a part of free agent decision making is, where can I go, you know, to best help my individual career as well. And the Eagles just set a great example as that. Shout out to Mekhi Becton. We will miss you tremendously. I definitely will miss him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, some of these other guys. But again, Howie continues to cycle things through. He is setting up this grand master plan for the next 2 to 3 years with the draft capital and the young guys and being able to pay all these guys. And if it keeps going like this, listen, man, I think Howie Roseman is going to look like a genius sooner rather than later. He already is. So anyway, that's where we're at, man. But the Philadelphia Eagles have a new edge rusher, one of the best on the market, probably was available because of how deep the draft class is and his health as well. But Howie strikes again. Give me your thoughts and reactions on this signing down below. As always, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.